If you're a heating and air machine technician or even a salesperson, are there downsides to HVAC sales? And if they are, what are they and what do you need to know about them? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Bell. I'm coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. So here's a couple things you need to know. Sales is a fantastic industry. There is a ton of upside. There are some awesome, amazing things about it. You get to help people out in need. You get to know about your product and service. You get to take care of yourself financially when you do things right. But let's go down the path of there's a couple of bad things in HVAC sales. So one, there's very little barrier to entry for a lot of companies to get into business. So like I live in California, the barrier to entry is this. You pass a test and you pay a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 in bonds and you are good to go, right? There's no continuing education. There's nothing. So there are a lot of really good people in this industry. There's a lot of fantastic people. And then there's a couple of people who screwed up for everybody. Sometimes you're up against evil Chuck in a truck. And evil Chuck in a truck is the dude or dudette that does the wrong thing and lies, cheats, and steals. Okay. So one, you are up against a small segment of the population who flat out is a liar. They will do whatever it takes to close a deal. And then they will do whatever it takes to do the bare minimum and not actually do an install right, but they got the money and they were able to go do their things. Two, sometimes you come across people who just don't tell the truth. They'll say and do anything to get a deal, right? Include lie about you and your company. They'll come out and say, hey, XYZ company, those guys are all criminals. XYZ company, you won't believe the things that they do. So part of it is in the industry, you kind of got to get over it. It's some of the downsides of being in the sales world. Three, when it comes down to it, sometimes homeowners don't really care, right? Business owners don't really care. You can have the best equipment. You can have the best installs. You could have the best work. You could have whatever, and you do a really good presentation and your company really delivers on that. And sometimes it's just for them. All it does is come down to the price. Now, I do know of a dude that went out to a sales call and provided solutions. And somebody went with a company that was less and then called him back and said, hey, we tried to implement what you figured out. And I had a company come out and do it for a couple grand less and they can't get it figured out. Will you come help them fix their install? And he was like, heck no, right? Like, you had every opportunity to go with me. So every once in a while, you do meet up with a homeowner that they don't really care. Like the only thing they care about is the number. And this is why you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. So part of the downsides for you is going to be the hours, right? You know, I heard a long time ago that being in heating and air sales or being like a heating and air technician is like a professional life in sports. You only have a certain life in there. So if you're a technician, like you could be a tech for 7 to 15 years. Are there people who do it longer? Absolutely. But your body wears out, right? You start losing sight. You start not being able to fit in attics. You start having claustrophobia. You start not wanting to work on things. So, you know, there's all the things that go on out in the marketplace. And then the downsides of HVAC sales is things that go on with you. Next up is relationships. Now, I lost a relationship because of the amount of hours that I worked. I lost a relationship because I was trying to provide, and the amount of hours that I worked caught like person didn't understand. She wasn't on the same page as me, and that's okay. It didn't work out, right? So the downside of HVAC sales as a technician, as you know, what you do is sometimes it's a relationship, and then downside number 3, if you're not paying attention, is the weather. There are years, like here in Sacramento this year, mild summer. So like all my friends that are in heating and air, they're like, Scott, it's cutthroat, right? Stuff that I would normally sell for 20, 25 grand, I'm having to sell for 16, 17. And stuff that I normally sell for 16 and 17, I'm having to sell for 11. So just know that like sometimes it's cyclical. And then when interest rates go up, so do financing charges, and so do cost of financing and the ability for you to sell stuff. But here's the thing, when you practice, when you put in the work, when you put in the effort, you can overcome almost anything. Like, you know what, you're going to have the group of clients over here that are not really your clients. the people, I should say. There are a group of people over here that aren't really your clients. And then all the other things that go along with the self-regulation and the things that you go through in just about any job, any ups and any downs. And then last on this list, sometimes the people that you work with. The downside of HVAC sales is sometimes it attracts very interesting people. I want to name some names, but I'm not going to because they're not here to defend themselves. But, you know, some of the people that you meet in the trades, not good people. But, you know, the thing is, if you focus on that, you're going to get poisoned. There's just a few of them. But when they go bad, they go bad. So, is there downsides to HVAC sales? Yep. Are there upsides? There's probably way more upsides than downsides. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. You can hit subscribe, or you can share this video with a friend. Follow. You could hit follow, or you could share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.